Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've made a video, but I'm happy to be back. This week I'm trying to eat as healthy as possible and spend as little as possible. And I've got a couple things in mind. I saw these little petite potatoes and my son had actually made me a recipe with these, and it was honestly one of the best things I've eaten this year, and I've been wanting to make this for you guys. So I'm going to pick up a bag of these little gourmet potatoes and make that for you. And these huge garlic cloves were just calling my name, so I'm going to pick up one of those. And these fresh lemons make me think of a lemon spaghetti recipe that I've been dying to make. It's been on my bucket list for a while, and so I'm gonna make that this week. I'm gonna grab a package of Soon Veggie Ramen, which is a guilty pleasure of mine. I love this stuff, and it's great when you don't feel like cooking dinner. I am definitely feeling adventurous this week, so when I saw these at the grocery store, I was wondering what these are. There was a big box and there was no sign on them, and more importantly, how do you cook with these? So if anybody knows, leave a comment down below. Alright guys, here is my grocery haul, and I have to say in advance, I'm going to leave the ingredients list along with the prices I paid in the description, so you can go there to get all of that. I will say that some of these ingredients, like I purchased 2 lemons, but I didn't need 2 lemons. I only needed 1 lemon, so I took that out of the ingredients list. But I picked up this Italian loaf at Walmart. Sometimes I get the French loaf, but this time I got the Italian loaf. I got these Persian cucumbers, bananas, red onion, black beans, white beans, diced tomatoes. I didn't actually use that can of tomato paste. Instead, I used some salsa verde, which I've added back in. I chose to go with some Swiss chard this week for something I haven't tried before, and want to just throw something different in there. You know, you've probably seen this before, but I do like these little applesauce in the baby food aisle because I can just sit here while I'm watching TV and squirt them in my mouth, and I think they're really yummy. I chose these little gold potatoes because my son said they have the best flavor, so that's going to work for what we're making. Then I got the cilantro, and I got these little okras, and I also got the Soon Veggie Ramen that I showed you earlier, just because it's nice to have when you're in a rush or you're working super late. It's just nice to have it on hand to throw it in and make it for dinner, and it's my favorite ramen on the market right now. Okay, so these okras, I got these at a little place near my house. They were super inexpensive. I also picked up these little baby avocados, which I thought would be great because it will help to keep them fresh. And that really large clove of garlic. Besides all of the veggies that you see, I did pick up 2 kinds of pasta. I got rigatoni and spaghetti. Oh, I picked up this baby bok choy. It was on a really good sale, and so I think I'm going to make a stir fry with that. And I also got, you know, just 1 or 2 little carrots. I got some shells, some brown rice that I like to make with my stir fries. I got 2 types of beans. I got this pepper stir fry. I only ended up using about 1/4 of that, but I love that with my eggs. I did put 2 cheeses in the budget, even though I only do consume about 1 cheese every week. And then like for the mozzarella, I buy that maybe once a month, and I keep that in the freezer. But like I said, I did count for 2 cheeses. Sometimes when you get veggies on sale, they don't last very long, so if I suspect that, I like to get those cut up and put in water right away so they last the entire week. Okay, I'm starting off the video with one of my favorite meals this week, and that's huevos rancheros. And these are the ingredients that I'm going to use. I think I found the recipe somewhere on Food Network, and I loosely followed it, but this was absolutely delicious. So I'm just going to start by chopping up some of my veggies. And here's a tip for you. I put my cilantro in a bowl of water, and it actually lasted 2 weeks. So that made me really happy. I've never had my cilantro last that long. Anyhow, I'm just going to fry up the corn tortilla shells. I know that some people use these and they don't fry them as crispy. They actually use them as soft tortillas, but I prefer to have a little bit more of a textural difference in my tortilla. I like it a little bit crispy. And then for my egg, I'm just going to baste it, and my goal for my egg was to have it be a little bit brown on the edges and then just a little bit over easy on top. And then I'm going to spread out my black beans and top this dish. Hold up, guys, I have to tell you how amazing this dish was. It was so delicious. The egg mixed with the feta and that black bean and the creaminess of the avocados. I mean, avocados are in season obviously right now, and there's every single avocado I had was just amazing. I could eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. When I saw those fresh lemons, I realized I wanted to make this lemon spaghetti, which has been on my bucket list for a long time, ever since I saw a Food Network program with Giada De Laurentiis. Apparently, lemon spaghetti is a staple in one of her restaurants, and so I thought making a Swiss chard along with the lemon spaghetti would be perfect. I just went ahead and washed it and picked off the stems, and I'm gonna fry this up with some garlic and olive oil, and it will be absolutely delicious. I'm going to use juice from half of the lemon, and then I'll use the other half for garnishment and for a zesting for the top of the spaghetti. I did get 1/8 cup of lemon juice from half of the lemon, which is plenty because it is quite strong, and I'll go ahead and match it with an equal part of olive oil. And I'll go ahead and whisk this together and add some salt and pepper, and I think we'll be good to go. And now I'm going to make a stir fry with the baby bok choy that I picked up. I don't usually use that in my stir fries, but I am trying to add some different items into my meals. I've got mushrooms, brown rice. I'm going to use the soy sauce, sesame oil, and the chili paste, which are definitely staples in my house. Hopefully they are in yours as well, because they make everything taste so delicious. I've got broccoli, red onions, carrots, mushrooms, and again, I'm just going to wash the bok choy, trim it at the top, and slice it into thin slices. And throw everything in the pan. And I love this lunch. I eat it for lunch and dinner quite frequently, actually, with whatever vegetables I have on hand. But it's so easy to make. I'm also going to use a little bit of sugar. Sugar, if you don't know, sugar mixed with soy sauce makes a teriyaki sauce. And I do like a little bit of a type of a kung pao flavor to my veggies. So what I'll do is I'll end up frying this up together and then adding a little bit of, I'm going to use a little of the olive oil this time for frying it up. Now I'm very, very careful with the sesame oil, because sesame oil, I don't want to say it's expensive, but if you use it like regular oil, it definitely would be. I just use it as a flavor component, so I don't really use it to stir fry my veggies in. I just add it a little bit to the top of my rice for extra flavor, and then I'll add it at the very end on the top of the veggies. Okay, so I've been talking to some of you about making chilaquiles, and today I decided to do it. I just couldn't decide between salsa verde or did I want to do chilaquiles rojo. So I did finally decide that I was going to go with the green sauce, and I didn't really know how many tortilla shells to use, but my son said he wanted to join me for lunch, so I went ahead and used 7. And for these, I'm not going to fry them. I'm just going to spray them with my olive oil spray and put them in my little oven, my little toaster oven at about 400 degrees until they're really super crispy. I'm just going to make sure that they're really crispy because I don't want them to get to lose too much of their texture in the sauce and become too soggy. I want some of them to be soggy, but then some of them to be a little bit crispy. Okay, put a small amount of oil in the bottom of your pan, and then you're just going to throw the salsa verde in there, and it will help to release and refreshen the flavors of the green chilies. You might want to taste it at this point and see if it's too pungent for you. If it is, then maybe add a little bit of water or even some sour cream, and it will tame it down a bit. I personally like it a little pungent, full flavor green chili, so I'm just going to leave it as is. The scent of this salsa verde is just intoxicating. It is smelling so delicious. I wanted to add these little diced red onions and the radishes on top, of course, for a little bit of crunch and textural balance to the dish. It was a very, very rich, and it was surprisingly richer than I thought it was going to be, whereas the huevos rancheros was very clean. I did try it with a little bit of sour cream because my son had some on his, and it was really delicious that way as well. So when I went to the store, they had okra on sale, and I remember I used to love this when I was younger, and so I thought I would try to incorporate this into my meal. This time I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to roast it. Now, if you haven't tried okra in the past, it does have normally a slimy texture on the inside, depending on how you prepare it. So a lot of people are a little bit turned off by it, but in this recipe, I'm just roasting it, which is going to get rid of the sliminess on the inside. And I just tossed it with olive oil, and I'm going to hit it with some salt and pepper, and then bake it at about 425 or so, and then turn it halfway through so that it gets nice and crispy on the outside, and that's definitely going to firm up the inside as well. Okay, since they had Persian cucumbers on such a great sale, I picked up quite a few of these, and I thought I would make this cucumber, tomato, onion salad, and it is so delicious and so easy to make, so refreshing. It is just really good. It's very acidic, so if there's something that you're serving that's a little bit heavy, this is really nice to have as a side dish. It's also a really good potluck dish to have on hand because it's super popular. In fact, I believe they sell this in the Safeway and the Vons and the Ralph's supermarkets in the deli. It's really, really delicious. You can also obviously use English cucumbers. You could use regular cucumbers as well, but you're going to want to get rid of all of the interior seeds because it's a lot of excess liquid. But I'm just going to chop these up, and I'm going to put these together, and I'm going to make a quick sauce with vinegar and honey and olive oil. Now, if you don't have any particular type of vinegar will work. If you don't have what I have here, and I think I used red wine vinegar for mine because that was what I had on hand, but you can also use a white vinegar as well. Pretty much anything that tastes good to you is going to work. This was a super delicious and satisfying meal, and I absolutely loved the okra. So for breakfast, I created a little spin on the avocado toast that I absolutely love to eat. In this case, I'm using hard-boiled eggs because I had plenty of eggs, and I'm also going to be using the radishes that I purchased for the chilaquiles. And I'm going to hard boil the egg 10 minutes. If you want it a little bit softer, you can do like 9 minutes, between 9 and 10. But I'm going to use this little device I got at IKEA, which slices it perfectly. And I absolutely love this thing. I think I got it. It was less than $2 at IKEA. So anyway, I'm just going to salt my avocado really well, layer it on there with the egg, and then put the sliced radishes on top. That adds a nice little crunch to the dish, and this was absolutely delicious. I love this. I ate it for 2 breakfasts this week, and then I had either a half banana or a whole banana also, but I usually have that about 10 o'clock. So another one of those meals that have always been on my bucket list is the Italian dish, white beans on toast. And I don't know why I've always been hesitant to make this. I don't know if it's because I wasn't sure if I'd like it or not, but I thought now would be a good chance to make it. And I purchased some canned beans for this, just to save from the budget. And I'm going to use olive oil again to toast my bread under my little toaster oven. And I pretty much don't even use my oven at all anymore, just because of the fact that I do live in Southern California where it's hot, and the oven gets my house too hot. So I always just use my little toaster oven. I'm going to crush the garlic, and I'm going to mix up the garlic to release the flavors a little bit in the pan. And then doesn't that look good? That bread is so delicious. But I'm gonna release the flavors of the garlic and a little bit of the olive oil, and then I'm just gonna add the beans in and cook those and mash them down a little bit. I think I like the one with the tomatoes a little bit better than the one with the lemon, but I really enjoyed eating them both side by side, having that contrast. And the texture of this was really good because you had the chewy bread. I think next time I'll play around with this recipe a little bit, and I definitely would like to try it with making the beans myself, because I thought the texture on these was a little bit too firm. Maybe I would like the beans to be a little bit softer, but all in all, it was a good recipe. I'm glad to finally check this off of my bucket list, and now I know what it tastes like. I don't know why it took me so long to make this. What's on your bucket list? What is it that you have been wanting to make but haven't? And now we're going to make the smashed potatoes that I told you about in the beginning of the video. We're just going to use these little potatoes and olive oil, garlic. If you have any little Romano cheese that's shredded, you can use that. You can use any kind of cheese that you have except obviously mozzarella. But like I said, it tastes perfectly good without any cheese at all. My son just happened to have that cheese on hand and he wanted to use that, and he was helping me to make this video. So we're going to boil the potatoes, and make sure that you boil them in heavily salted water because that's going to affect the outcome of the recipe. I served a little green salad alongside my pasta dish, and I did have plenty of romaine lettuce left over for quite a few different side salads for this week. I didn't show them all, but I basically used the same dressing that I used for the cucumber tomato salad. So this is the Soon veggie ramen that I got, and they used to sell this in Walmart. I know you can get it online at Walmart. I actually got it at H Mart, but this is my absolute favorite ramen right now. It is super flavorful and has just the right amount of heat. And my last meal of the video, and maybe one of my most favorites, was the black bean tacos. Something about the combination of black bean with feta just had me wanting these all week long. In fact, I had them a couple of times. They were super delicious. If you haven't tried this combination, I definitely suggest it. One of the nice things about going on a budget is it makes you try new food combinations that you would never try any other time, and it helps you to discover things that you really love, and it's healthy and it's delicious. And I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I enjoyed making it, and thanks again for watching.